There was a time in my life when the world felt heavier than it should. One of those seasons where you wake up breathing, but you're not really living. Every morning I'd sit at the edge of my bed, staring into nothing, wondering how a life that once felt full had somehow turned into a quiet fog. Work wasn't going well, relationships had fallen apart, and even sleep felt like a place I didn't belong. The only part of my day that made sense was my walk to this tiny old coffee shop on Maple Street, a place I'd been going to since college. It wasn't fancy. Rusty chairs, mismatched mugs, the smell of roasted beans mixed with the sound of an ancient espresso machine. But it felt safe, familiar, like the one place the world didn't expect anything from me. I always sat at the same table, second from the window, watching life move outside faster than I could keep up. The owner, Linda, a woman in her late 50s with kind eyes, never pushed conversations on me. She just greeted me quietly, placed my black coffee on the table, and went back to her work. And somehow, that small routine was enough to keep me moving. But one evening, everything finally caught up to me. I stayed long after closing, sitting there in the corner with a cold, untouched cup in front of me, lost in thoughts I didn't want to admit out loud. I didn't even notice she had locked the door or turned off most of the lights. When I finally stood to leave, Linda walked over, handed me the bill, and slipped a small folded note underneath. She didn't say anything, just gave me a soft, knowing smile. Outside, under the flickering streetlight, I opened the note. It said, "If the world feels too loud, you can sit here. If you ever feel like you're disappearing, I see you. And if you need someone to talk to, I'm here." Just a few lines. But those lines pulled me away from the edge I was quietly approaching. The next morning I went back. Not for the coffee, but because someone had reminded me that I still mattered. Slowly, day by day, piece by piece, I found small reasons to keep going. A little laugh, a small conversation, a familiar face. Years passed, and life rebuilt itself. Better job, better days, a steadier mind. That coffee shop was the background to my healing. Then one afternoon, I walked by and saw a sign on the door. "Closing soon. Retirement." My heart dropped. The place that saved me was about to vanish. I couldn't let it happen, so I bought it, quietly, completely. When Linda asked why, her voice shaking, I told her, "Because you gave me a place to stay when I didn't know how to stay alive." Now I run the shop. I kept the creaky floors, the mismatched mugs, the corner table by the window, everything she created. And whenever someone walks in looking tired, lost, or alone, I leave a small handwritten note on their table, the same one she once left for me. Because sometimes you don't save the whole world. Sometimes you just save one person. And that's enough.